Good morning, kids. And today we are going to deal with revision of lesson number 5 and 6. As the syllabus is complete, and now we are going to go for the revision. First to 4 chapters, we have done the revision for PT1. We are going to revise those chapters also, but after the completion of the syllabus for half-yearly examination. So today we begin with lesson number 5 and lesson number 6. Lesson number 5 and 6, the first chapter we are going to deal today is about acid, bases and salts. And what type of questions we can expect from this particular chapter. As the word itself indicates, we are going to go page wise. The questions may be asked based on, initially to begin with, there is this table given on page number 50. There is this table given on page number 50, wherein they may ask us the source for the particular acids, where these acids are present, and then they may be asking us for the options. And if they want to go in for some of the easier questions, then in that case, they may be asking us on the basis of taste, how are you going to distinguish? We know very well that acids and bases, they vary in their taste. Acids are sour in taste and bases are bitter. Depending on that, they may say that this particular thing is sour in taste. Now identify which of them will be sour without indicating whether it is an acid or a base. So there we are supposed to select that. Next, from this particular table, they may ask us the source. For example, writing about acetic acid, and if there are options given, we need to select that acetic acid is present in. Acetic acid is present in. Name. Raise your hands. And here I have the hand of Anjali. Yeah, Anjali.
Vinegar.
Vinegar. Very good. Same way I'm going to ask you. I'm going to twist a little bit, okay? I'm not going to go sequence wise. So remember that. Next one. Lactic acid. Lactic acid. Ritesh.
Sour milk or curd.
Curd or sour milk. Okay, good. Then, which acid is present in ants' sting? Adarsh.
And formic acid.
Formic acid. Formic acid, and that is the reason we have been asked to apply a base on it, like calamine lotion, that is zinc carbonate, or a baking soda also at home. If you have, you can rub it, and there you can be relieved from the acid that is released inside the skin. Then after that, there are some citrus fruits which contains a particular acid in it. Amla, lemon, okay, and let me see the Q. All right, Neerav.
Man, nitric acid.
That is ascorbic acid, vitamin C, right? Okay. Now about the bases. Very, very common question. Window cleaner. Window cleaner contains which base? Chirag.
Yes, ma'am.
Window cleaner contains which base in it?
Ma'am.
Page number 50, and there is this table from wherein I am putting the questions. And for those kids who have joined a bit late, we are doing the revision for half yearly lesson number 5 and 6 as has been mentioned on board. We have discussed about the taste of the acid and base. And now we are taking up the multiple choice questions from the blue box. There they had mentioned the sources of certain acids and bases. Well, let me ask now, Manish. Manish,
Ammonium hyd Ma'am,
ammonium
ammonium
hydroxide,
hydroxide.
correct? Ammonium hydroxide. Okay. Now at times there is this acidity, severe acidity in the stomach, and we take milk of magnesia, diagene, or its relative components. Now, which base is present in that? Prithvi,
Magnesium hydroxide.
magnesium hydroxide. Okay. And I would like to ask, okay, Utkarsh.
Yes, ma'am.
Utkarsh, which base is present in soaps?
Ma'am, sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide.
Okay, so these are the bases. And now I think I am going to ask tamarind and unripe mangoes. Tamarind and unripe mangoes have a particular acid. Which acid is present in these? Chirag,
Ma'am,
Ma'am, tartaric acid.
tartaric acid. And you know very well, this tartaric acid is also present in the baking powder. The powder that we are using,
Yes, ma'am.
the
Ma'am, baking soda plus tartaric acid is equal to baking powder.
okay. So there again goes my enthusiastic child. Well, the baking powder that is used for making cakes. There is a difference between baking powder and baking soda. Baking soda is that white salt-like thing that we use in preparation of many items like those of idli or vada or chana. Baking powder is specifically being used for cooking cakes. This baking powder contains baking soda plus tartaric acid. Okay. Now, spinach. Spinach contains an acid in it. And the acid, Siddhika. Siddhika, I can't hear you, beta. Anyways, all right. Okay, Vivek wrote the answer. That is oxalic acid. Correct it is. Okay. So, of course, lime water. Lime water actually is a base, and the name of that base is, common name is lime water. Tapshil. Tapshil. Lime water. Which base? Okay, he gave not no. Adarsh,
Calcium hydroxide.
calcium hydroxide. Okay, see, don't get confused between the two terms. Calcium hydroxide is one and calamine lotion is different. Yes, Tapshil, now you are right. Calcium hydroxide. Okay, calamine lotion contains zinc carbonate. That is entirely a different component. No doubt it is basic, but it's a different compound. Well, now what type of other questions that can be asked? They may be asking about the indicators. So in indicators, we know very well about litmus. Okay, and in case of litmus, keep in mind that in case of acid and base, the colors are different. In case of acid, it turns blue to red, and in case of base, it turns red to blue. Okay? And next, of course, we are supposed to keep in mind about the turmeric. Turmeric, of course, here there is no change as such, but it changes to red in base, as it happened in case of soaps. And wait a minute. Let me write it, then I'll start asking you. And then after that, China rose. China rose. And China rose in both the cases. In case
Ma'am,
in case of acid, it is more or less red and it turns green in the base. And last but not the least, we are going to take up the example of phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein. That is phenolphthalein. Okay. And here, of course, there is no change, colorless. And once it goes in a base, it becomes deep pink, or you can say the red in shade. Deep pink color it gives actually. We have covered this activity in the class. You can recall. Now comes the question. Yeah, there were some doubts, I think. Some kids were saying something. All right. So let's continue asking. And the question now, I will start off naming certain things and you are going to tell me the color. You know very well that litmus has been extracted from lichens. Okay? Always keep this sequence in mind. And on the basis of this, they may ask you certain acids, certain bases. Now, how will I identify whether the given chemical compound is an acid or a base? Remember, it's very, very simple to identify. If it is, the name is ending up with a hydroxide. Hydroxide or the formula contains OH. That means it's a base. Acids, of course, generally you end up the name itself with acid. That's very easy to identify. And in the formula, you will be having one hydrogen definitely. For example, HNO3, H2SO4, HCl, all of them have this H in them. There are some strong acids like those which burn. HCl, HNO3, H2SO4, like I told you just a moment ago, that is nitric acid, sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid. They are strong acids. They burn. There are acids which are edible. We can eat them. A few of them we have discussed a moment back. Those which are present in the food items. Therefore, no doubt we know that we can taste sour and bitter and we can identify, but that should not be the criteria of distinguishing, because some acids may be very, very strong. They may burn. So how to identify whether it is an acid or a base? These are the methods we may use the indicators. Common most used indicator is of course litmus. In the form of solution or in the form of paper, it is available. I am going to give you 4 names and then I am going to go ahead and let me see if keep your hands down. First of all, lower your hands and let me put up the question and then raise your hands straight up. Good. Very good. And now the question comes, in all the cases, right from here to here, I am giving you certain names. And those names you are supposed to tell me about their color changes. Okay? It is, I am writing the formula only. HCl, H2SO4, CaOH worldwise, NaOH. And in all these cases, I will be asking the changes in this. For HCl, you are going to give me its name and the color changes for litmus. You can take up, this is first, this is second, third and fourth. The first one the second one we are going to deal here. Second and third with China rose, and fourth with phenolphthalein. Now accordingly I am asking for the first one, and I here begin with Ritesh. Ritesh, tell me what will be the name of this particular compound I wrote here?
Ma'am, hydrochloric acid.
Chloric acid, chloride, है ना? Chlorine से chloride. Hydrochloric acid, and how is it going to show its changes in litmus? Hydrochloric acid turns dash to dash.
Ma'am, hydrochloric acid is a acid, thus it changed blue to red.
Yes, it is going to convert blue litmus to red. And then after that, next I'll be asking for H2SO4. And that let me ask to Utkarsh. Utkarsh, what is this H2SO4?
Ma'am, I don't know.
Sulfuric acid. Let me write their names also here. HCl. I gave you these in the notes, beta. I gave all of them in the notes. Check the notes. This is hydrochloric acid, HCl. H2SO4 is sulfuric acid, CaOH whole twice. CaOH whole twice is calcium
Hydroxide.
and NaOH. Here itself I am writing. Na stands for sodium and OH of course hydroxide. Moreover, simply by looking at the formula itself, we can say that this is a base. OH means a base. Now, here in this case, H2SO4 is an acid, sulfuric acid. That means it is going to turn China rose to more deeper in red shade. China rose already is pinkish, so it turns red. Now if we are talking about calcium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide is a base, and base is going to become making this particular indicator converting to green. China rose liquid turns green in this one. Now phenolphthalein for sodium hydroxide. Acids, there is no change, and it is going to change the color of phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein that is almost transparent, that changes to pink. So these are the changes that are going to be done with the help of these indicators. Note them down and they may be asking you based on this. By the time we are doing it, let us take up one more thing from the chapter, that is about neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction is a reaction in which acid reacts with base to form salt plus water. Acid plus base gives salt and water. And here in this case, we may take up the acid as HCl, hydrochloric acid, and the base as sodium hydroxide, NaOH, and that forms salt plus water. Salt is NaCl and water of course is H2O. Neutralization reaction also, they may ask you what are the end products. Okay? And after neutralization reaction, some small headings from there also, multiple choice questions may be there. For example, In ant bite, which acid is present? That is formic acid. And what do we apply on that? We may apply a base, calamine lotion. Calamine lotion contains zinc carbonate that actually neutralizes the effect of acid on it. And of course, soil treatment, under that heading, what we have is that if the soil is turning more and more acidic, we may add a base to that. And if it is turning more basic, we may add an acidic fertilizer to that. Some of the names also have been mentioned, for example, calcium oxide or slate lime, that is calcium hydroxide, that may be added, that is basic in nature. And if you want to add up something acidic, we may be adding compost to it. Compost basically imparts acidic nature to the soil. Factory waste should be treated before pouring it onto the soil. Out of these, they may be making up any of the MCQs. Please prepare the whole chapter. Now let's move ahead for lesson number 6. That is physical and chemical changes. I hope by now you must have written this. And now we are going to deal with lesson number 6, physical and chemical changes. First and the foremost, they may give us, in the options they may give us, identify the physical and chemical changes. And they say, for example, they may ask us that identify the physical changes among the following. For example, burning of paper, cutting of paper, making of food. And out of all these, of course, we know that cutting of paper is a physical change. We must keep always in mind that for physical, no new substance is formed. For physical changes, of course, always keep in mind that no new substance, no new substance is formed. But in case of chemical change, always new substances are formed. And of course, examples we know very well for physical. They may be, for example, melting, boiling, freezing. Okay, all of them are physical changes. Tearing of paper. But if you are talking about chemical changes, burning, all types of burning, wherever they write this term burning, all of them are actually chemical changes. Cooking of food, decomposition, all of them are chemical changes. Okay. Now, next thing we are supposed to, in this chapter, certain equations are very, very, very important. So let's write them once again and learn them by heart. This is, go very fast at this. I am starting right from page number 60. These equations, 4 to 5 equations are very important. Magnesium plus oxygen. This gives magnesium oxide. Your assignment today will be that you are supposed to find out the names of these. I am speaking also side by side. The names are mentioned in the chapter very well. Note down their names. I am just giving you the symbolic representation of the equations. Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide, and this magnesium oxide dissolves in water and forms magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide. This is given under activity number 6.6. This is for activity 6.6. Now I am writing for activity number 6.7. 6.7. They have given the word equation. Copper sulfate plus iron. Copper sulfate plus iron. This gives iron sulfate plus copper. That is the brown deposit. Now activity 6.8. 6.8. Acetic acid. Acetic acid plus sodium hydrogen carbonate. Acetic acid. Let me write its formula. Acetic acid plus sodium hydrogen carbonate. That is CH3COOH plus sodium hydrogen carbonate. This gives salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. In our book they have written carbon dioxide and other substances. Please be attentive. Equations are very, very important. And then there is this next equation that is about carbon dioxide turns lime water milky. Carbon dioxide and the lime water. Lime water is this only, CaOH whole twice. CaOH whole twice. And through this lime water, when we pass on carbon dioxide, it forms a chalk-like substance. Calcium carbonate plus water. This equation actually proves that CO2, carbon dioxide, turns lime water milky. And then there is this equation for rusting. For rusting, there is one more equation. That I am writing here. Rusting, you know very well, it takes place with iron in the presence of oxygen and water. Oxygen and water, three components are required. And what exactly is this rust compound? This is actually Fe2O3. This is given in our book, but this in addition to Fe2O3, there is this also, FeOH both thrice. But we may write the one that is mentioned in the book, that is also right. Rust actually is a combination of iron oxide and iron hydroxide. That reddish brown coating that comes on the surface of the iron. And then of course, we may be asked, how will you identify a change, that a chemical change has taken place? There are certain indications. Heat or light may be evolved, sound may be produced, a change in smell or color or gas may evolve. If any of these symptoms are there, that means chemical change is taking place. Then comes the question that how can you prevent iron particles from rusting? We can go for the best method, of course, there is no doubt. We have these methods named as painting, greasing, agreed, but the best one is galvanization. Covering iron with zinc, covering the surface of iron with molten zinc. Galvanized iron, that is GI sheets. They are available in market, and of course they are resistant to corrosion because they have this layer on that, like the cover protects your book. Same way, the zinc coating protects the iron particles from getting rusted. And of course, the last heading in the chapter is about the crystallization and what type of MCQ can be asked from there. This is the method. The crystallization is the method which is far better than evaporation. We can obtain crystals through evaporation also. But in evaporation, the crystal structure gets damaged. In case of crystallization, the crystal structure remains intact, it is not damaged. That is the most important advantage of making crystals with the help of crystallization method. We make a saturated solution and allow it to cool down on its own. That gives us crystals of the compound. And all these equations related with each and every activity is very easy to understand. In the first one, if you can recall, we were burning the magnesium ribbon. If you are burning the magnesium ribbon, it forms magnesium oxide, that is the white ash. And you dissolve that white ash in water and you get magnesium hydroxide, which turns red litmus to blue because it is base. After that, copper sulfate, the blue colored solution, and in that you put iron nail. After some time, you will see that the copper deposits on the iron nail and the solution starts turning greenish because FeSO4 is formed. Iron sulfate. Its actual name is ferrous sulfate. Well, the next one, wherein we are taking up acetic acid or silica, and in that with that acetic acid or silica, we are adding a base available at home, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate or beta soda, and there we can see the bubbles of carbon dioxide coming out. Using this particular equation, we have made at times volcano in the science exhibition. We use that beta soda or the baking soda, and in that we add lemon juice or sirca or this citric acid, any form, vinegar, and these acids have resulted in the formation of carbon dioxide. Therefore, in their book they have mentioned carbon dioxide and other substances. Carbon dioxide and other substances, of course, are, as happens in case of neutralization reaction, once you react acid with a base, you are going to get salt plus water. But if your base contains CO2 in it, then the end product will also be containing carbon dioxide. That's all from my side, kids. For the revision of lesson number 5 and 6 for this MCQ, happy learning.